Hello everyone, Donna Gray here, your Stampin' Up demonstrator from the Northern Rivers area in New South Wales, Australia. Just thought I would jump on tonight and do a little bit of live crafting. Just a bit of an impromptu live video. I wasn't planning on going live. I just decided I'd had my shower and thought I'm going to go out and make a card in my craft room and bring everybody a live video showing a card that I'm going to create. Now I'm once again with my live videos, I'm winging it. I have a little bit of a plan, but nothing much. I wanted to use the Happy Wishes stamp set because it's a stamp set that I've had that I haven't unfortunately played with enough. So I decided that I would create a card for you tonight. So I'm actually incorporating the Woodwords stamp set as well. And the Woodwords is, sorry, I'm just getting my laptop organized here so I can see comments. So if you're on tonight and you're watching, please feel free to comment and let me know who you are, where you're watching from. If you have any questions while I'm crafting tonight, please feel free to let me know. And another thing, I did a live video the other day and my cards were out of shot, and I try my best and my computer was playing up and mucking around the other day, and it just didn't want to stay on while I was crafting. So I was too busy worrying about trying to keep my video, my laptop going at the same time as trying to craft, and I was actually out of shot. So if for some reason something like that happens, please drop a comment and let me know if for some reason it's out of view. Sorry, I was just getting myself organized there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Happy Wishes stamp set, but I'm also going to include this beautiful flower out of the Woodwords. And as you can see, the flowers that are in this image here are very similar to the flower in the Woodwords. So I thought, hey Karen and hey Mandy, thank you for joining me. Please feel free to ask questions as we go along. Give me comments of what you think is happening and how I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to use the Woodwords as a bit of a background on my base of my card. And then I'm just going to stick with just the black. I am using Dapper Denim as my base, but it's so close to Island Indigo that I'm going to use Island Indigo ink because I don't have Dapper Denim ink. So, but as you'll see, it will still blend quite nicely anyway. Hi Mandy, thanks for joining. These stamps, Mandy, are Saleabration stamps. And these stamps, if you place a $180 order, you can get these for free. It's a double stamp set, absolutely gorgeous stamp set. And yes, they're new just to Saleabration, and I don't know why my camera keeps doing that. It's doing an autofocus. I wonder, can I change the settings somehow? I thought getting up further away would make the difference. I'll put it up a bit further. See if that makes a difference. It just keeps wanting to autofocus every time I put my hands in the screen. You don't have the Woodwords, Karen. The reason why I purchased the Woodwords was just for that flower stamp set alone. As far as the other stamps, and you can probably see in my stamp set, I have hardly used the other stamps. I have used this one tremendously. So, okay. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to use the Happy. I'm also going to use our new Stamparatus because I want to ink this Happy up and make sure that it actually inks really, really well onto my card. So I'm trying to think of whether it won't fit that way. So we're actually going to do it this way. So I'm going to bring in my Stamparatus. Now, my Stamparatus, if this is the first time you have seen the Stamparatus being used, we have some magnets. It has, for our base, it actually has a foam pad that you can use for our photopolymer stamp sets. I tend to use it even though I'm using the clear mount stamp sets, but you can use just the base for your clear mount. I use the foam one just to get a really good image, and I always pop just a bit of our grid paper that I've cut over the top so that I can line my card up. And on my grid paper, I've actually drawn some lines so I can make sure that I've got my card nice and straight on my grid paper. So my grid paper is butted up the sides, and then I line my card up on one of those lines that I've already done. So now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to place where I think I want my stamp to be. And bear with me, this could be interesting because this stamp, being clear rubber, I need to try and line it up as straight as I possibly can. Okay, so hopefully this is going to be okay. We have another side if it's not. Hey Vicky, thanks for joining me. Just doing a bit of crafting tonight, having a bit of a play around. Okay, so I'm going to ink that up with my Memento ink. And I'll bring it down here into shot so you can see me inking it up. Now, I've got it resting on a block. Because you've got hinges and it's up off the bench, you either need to pop a stamp case underneath. Sometimes the stamp that you're using, you could pop in underneath. Now, the beauty of this is if I don't ink it up and stamp it properly, I can go again. Hey, Cheryl, thanks for joining. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp down and stamp back up. And I'm not overly happy with that. I'm going to re-stamp again. So sorry, I'll ink that up and then I'll bring it back into camera. Okay, push it up that way a bit so you can see. I'm going to ink that up and I'm going to re-stamp it. And that is the beauty of our Stamparatus, that if it doesn't stamp properly, we can have another go. And that looks much better. The black is much more covered. I might even just give it one more go because even around the P and the Y there is still a bit mottly, so I'll give it another go. And bear with me, I just had a sneezing attack before I came on tonight, so I'll try not to sniffle. I do have tissues here, but yeah, I just had the last 10 minutes just constantly sneezing. Okay, so there you have it. So I've been able to ink it up absolutely beautifully and perfectly because I was able to do it 3 times. That is the beauty of our Stamparatus. And have you ever had a project that you've done absolutely everything, got it all sorted, and then it comes time to stamping your sentiment? And what happens? We muck up the sentiment and it feels like your whole card has been ruined because you've mucked up the sentiment stamp. No longer. The Stamparatus will save us from doing that. Okay, so now I'm actually going to take the plate up, turn it around and pop it back in. And I'm just going to get the birthday stamp now. And I'm definitely winging this. I'm going to pop that birthday stamp in the middle there. So hopefully that's going to look nice and straight. Pick up the stamp. And then I'm actually going to ink that up with my Island Indigo because I want it to be a bit different, the colour. So I'm going to ink up my stamp and pop it down. And there we go, happy birthday. I may ink that again and do it just a second time just to get a bit more coverage on that birthday. Hi Vicky, thanks for joining. So there we go, happy birthday, easy as. So I'm actually going to, I'll just clean that stamp up and I'll pop all my Stamparatus aside because the rest of it I'm actually going to be stamping just with my blocks. So easy cleanup, just a baby wipe and clean up your stamp that way. Okay, so I'll take my card off. One main thing, Stamparatus, do not let your magnets touch. That is one thing that they have said because they will snap together and they will break. Hi, Vicky Allenson. So I've got Vicky Knight and Vicky Allenson. So hello to both the Vickies tonight. Okay, so now I'm just going to get a scrap bit of paper. And I'm just going to do a little bit of stamping off here. So I want to stamp off some of our lovely, I'm going to use the Island Indigo. I'm also going to bring in the flowery wood stamp from the Woodwords. Hey Murray, thanks for joining. Yes, Karen, the baby wipes are awesome for cleaning our stamps. I think they're a definite must. Okay, so I'm just going to get that mounted up. Actually, it might fit on that one. Yeah, it will. Mount it up onto that one. Sorry about that. Okay, so now what I'm actually going to do is just on this one, I'm going to stamp just a lovely border around the outside just to create a really nice pattern and take the plain look off our Whisper White sheet. So no particular order, I'm just stamping around just to create a little bit of a border around our sentiment. Okay. And then I'm actually going to bring in, I'm going to pop that aside, I'm also going to bring in the Dapper Denim and do this. Hey Mari, thanks for joining. Sorry, I've just seen that you said hello to me. Okay, and I'm sorry people, I still have not got my bone folder. I think it's out on my dining room table, to tell you the truth. So I'm going to do the same thing as what I've done here. I'm going to do around the outside edge. So it will just be like a tone-on-tone stamp. So this is going to be a really quick, easy, simple card to make. But I just wanted to show how quickly a card can come together. Just with a couple of different stamp sets. Okay, so then on this part here, I'm going to mount it onto black to really make that pop. And then I'm actually going to pop some ribbon on it as well. So I'm going to use my, you love the tone on tone, Vicky? Yes, it is awesome, isn't it? And I actually was watching another Stampin' Up demo just do a black and white card. Absolutely stunning, just a black and white card. And sometimes you don't need a lot of colour. Sometimes too much colour gets a little bit too confusing. So I just decided 2 colours, black and Island Indigo was my theme tonight. So now I'm actually going to pop some ribbon on. I'm going to bring in our black shimmer ribbon. Okay. And I cheat a little bit with my ribbon. I don't go all the way around. What I do is I pop a little bit of fast fuse on the back of my card. I lay my ribbon into the fast fuse down the bottom and like so. And so there you have a lovely strip of your ribbon straight across. And trim that off. Okay, so then what I do is I tie my bow and then just pop it on with a glue dot. So the way I tie my bow, and I'm doing this because a lot of people struggle with tying bows. This is how I tie my bows, and I have always tied my bows like this. So what I do is I get a loop between my thumb and my pointer finger. I make a loop. It's sort of a half screw width loop. It's sort of that way and that way. Then what I do is I go around in a circle, but I keep my ribbon that it's not going to twist up. And then what I do is I create a loop to go through that loop that just went around my first loop. Okay, and then I always roll my ribbon back over twice, so then it unkinks it. So then what we do is we slowly, without it twisting, we slowly organize our bow. So then holding the middle, we pull both ends and make the loops littler. And we slowly, gradually keep pulling both ends until we get a nice looking bow. When you start getting a nice looking bow that you think it's going to be quite good, then what you do is you pull the 2 loops at the top and the 2 ends at the bottom. And you get a lovely bow that the 2 strings off your bow hang down, and you've got 2 really nice loopy bits of your bow. So that is, hey Cheryl, thanks for joining. So that is how I tie my bows. Nothing real flash, but I can tell you I tie my bows like that all the time, and I don't normally have any issues. I actually need that bow to be smaller, so I'm going to reorganize it again a bit. So I'm holding the middle and shortening my loops. Okay, and then I'm going to tighten again because I wanted it a bit littler. I'll cut that off again. And I always leave my ribbon on my spool. And as you can see, the only bit of ribbon that I have wasted are those few little bits. So you still got it on your spool and you haven't wasted a lot at all. Okay, so that's my bow tying tricks for you. And then I'm going to turn this over. I'll get rid of that paper so it's not annoying. I'm going to turn this over and pop some dimensionals on. I must admit, Island Indigo is probably one of my most favourite colours. I tend to like the really deep colours. I love Elegant Eggplant. I love Island Indigo. So I tend to like the strong, deep colours. And one of my favourite things is always backing pieces with black. I think the black just makes things pop. So I just wanted to remind everybody our Saleabration is coming to an abrupt end. So these sets that I'm using, the Happy Wishes, you can earn with a $180 order through my online store. So if you were interested in placing an order, the Saleabration ends on the 31st of March. So we've only got about a week and a bit to go. So it's a little bit sad that it's about to end. So now I've popped it up onto my dimensionals. I'm now going to pop that on. And then I'll grab a piece of Whisper White and a piece of our basic black. And I'm actually just going to make the insert for my card. I need a glue dot for my bow. Okay, so I'm just going to pop a glue dot on the back of my bow. Also going to pop one on both loops of my bow. This is just a hint that I do to make my bows sit nicely on my cards, because just one glue dot doesn't seem to be enough, so I like to put the 3 glue dots so it holds the middle of your bow and it holds both the ties of your bow. And the middle one didn't seem to stick. So there you go, bit of a mistake there. Can I pop a middle one on this way? My glue dots decided not to stick. Okay. So there you go, see, we all make crafting blunders. Anyway, there we go. So I've popped my bow on the front, and now I'm going to bring my scrap paper back in. And just to finish off, that's because the glue dot's on my finger. That's where it got to. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the inside. Okay, yeah, I'm just going to stamp the inside just with the flower, just to bring the outside of the card to the inside and finish it off. So mainly I'm just going to, I love stamp set for this, just that corner and that corner, like so, and you've decorated the inside of your card. So then I will just grab my Tombow, pop some Tombow on the back, and you don't need to use a lot of Tombow. And the reason why I use Tombow, that is my glue of choice, because it gives me wiggle room. So when I have very small borders, I'm able to move it and wiggle it. As you can see, I can move it and wiggle it into place and get the border looking just nice. Everyone to their own. I've just been a liquid glue girl from the word go. It is my favourite glue of choice. I do use Fast Fuse and Snail, but more often than not, I use my Tombow. Okay, so there we have a lovely card. So I think what I might do, since I did that one so quick, I may do a different colour card. Let me see. I'm going to do some softer tones. We'll see what else we can do. And I may use the best wishes on this one. So I've got just our powder pink. Thank you all for hearts. That's wonderful. Thank you. Okay, powder pink. What colour can we have? For our base. Sorry, for our layer. I'm going to cut some because I'm going to just do white. Yeah, just going to do white. So I'm now going to do just a really basic version of this card, just to give you a bit of an idea of how different we can make a card look. Okay, I'm going to cut that white layer down just 1/4 of an inch. I was just in the mood to do a bit more crafting. I had a bit of a non-eventful day. I had lots planned and didn't get anything done like I wanted to do. So I feel like I wanted to jump on tonight and actually get some crafting done to feel like my day has been useful. So I'm just going to clean my stamp just with the Stampin' Scrub, just to get a nice clean stamp. Okay. And this time, I'm just going to do something really, really basic. I'm just going to do best wishes on this, and I'm going to stamp it just freehand. I'm not going to use my Stampin' Scrub. I'm just going, my Stamparatus. I'm just going to use a block and see how we go. And I'm actually going to, I'm definitely winging this, people. I wasn't planning on doing a second card, but because I did the first one so quick, I thought, oh, I best do something, a second one. I'm not actually going to, I was going to use Wisteria one. I think I'm going to use my powder pink. I'm going to use a tone on tone look here because I'm going to take that one away. I actually want a pink level. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do 2 white levels. Do one on top of the other. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. Yes, I have made my mind up. Okay, so hopefully I don't get any of that Island Indigo on anything. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to ink up my best and stamp it. I'm actually going to do the card up this way. So excuse me for getting my head in here. Hopefully that's going to be straight. Hey Linda, thanks for joining me. Okay, best. And then I'm going to get the wishes out of here. So this is going to be a really feminine, soft, beautiful card. Hopefully. Can you all see where I'm going with this? Maybe not. Because I don't know half the time where I'm going. I'm just going to ink the wishes up now with my powder pink. And I'm just going to come in underneath there. A little bit crooked. I'm not real happy with that. I think I'm going to turn it over. That was a shocker. Okay, we'll start again. It's really hard because I can't get my head in here. I'm going to put my head right in. I can see where I'm going. Maybe I should have used my Stampin'Up. This wishes word is hard to get straight. That looks good. Okay, so then I'm also going to use my scrap paper. And I'm just going to use my wood words again, the little flower. And I'm just going to add a little bit up the top. And flowery part across the bottom. Like so. Okay. And now I'm going to use our beautiful powder pink sheer ribbon. And once again, I'm going to pop some fast fuse on there. Get that out of the way. Okay. Just want to get that roughly in the middle there. Okay. That. And I'm really worried about it. I'll let it go on my finger getting on this beautiful powder pink card. Okay. Once again, I'm going to tie my bow. Does anyone there that's watching, does anyone struggle with tying bows? And believe me, I actually have a bow tire. And do you think I know how to use it? I've seen people use them and they look so easy. And I have a bow tie here on my desk somewhere, but for the life of me, I've never been able to use it. I did use it when I first got it. I can remember making some Christmas tags, and I made these beautiful, tiny, tiny little Christmas tags. And they had the smallest, tiniest bows that you could ever think of on them. But it was absolutely as easy as anything to tie it with this bow tie. But that was many years ago. I think I'd have to watch a video to watch it to be able to use them again. But I'm from the old school. I tie my bows by hand. Okay, so I'm just going to grab some glue dots again. You use a fork to make bows? Yeah, I've seen people even just use their fingers, Karen. Just using their fingers and wrapping the ribbon around their fingers. Now I'm just going to pop some glue dots. I want to pop one underneath the ribbon to make sure it stays to the card. One underneath this loop, making sure it works properly this time. And one underneath this loop. Okay, that's looking quite pretty. Okay, so now I'm going to pop that up, I think, with dimensionals. So who out there that's watching tonight, who has this stamp set? Who was lucky enough to earn this stamp set for free during Saleabration? It was actually the first stamp set. I actually earned it when I did my pre-order after Onstage, is how I actually earned mine. So it was, yeah, one of the first ones that I earned. I did a pretty big pre-order, which I'm saving up again for Onstage. Onstage is about to happen on the 7th of April, and I have actually advanced to Silver Elite this year, so I get to go to the dinner the night before, so I'm a little bit excited about that. I don't know what to expect, but I'm excited. I worked very hard to get to Silver Elite. My poor team member's going to have to stay back at the motel while I go off and have a fancy dinner. She's going to have to sit at the motel by herself, but hopefully next time we go to Onstage, she will be going to the Silver Elite dinner with me, which will be fantastic. Okay, so I'm just going to layer that up. So it's just a Whisper White layer on another Whisper White layer, just to give a little bit of dimension. And I think I'm going to bring in my scrap paper. I think I'm just going to stamp just the corners of my card, just to give it a little bit of interest and take the plain look off the background. So I've actually locked myself in my craft room tonight. My family are all home, but I just said I'll lock myself in and do a live video. Okay, so that's just created a little bit of interest underneath my white on white layer. And I'm just going to actually glue that directly down, I think. So I hope you're all enjoying crafting with me tonight. Now, if you're watching this recording back later on, please feel free to share my video. If you liked my video, please share it so that your friends can get to see my crafting videos. And for everybody that shares my videos, you get your name put into this lovely little jar. And at the end of March, I will be drawing the, I don't know whether I have it here or not. Yes, I do. My monthly draw this month is the beautiful Heartfelt Blooms stamp set. So if you share my video, you must type shared in the comments as well, so that I can see that you've shared my video. But if you share my video on your Facebook page, or if you're watching this back on YouTube, if you share it onto your Facebook page or any other social media platform, that helps me bring more videos to you and be able to do these crafting videos for you. So I've used our beautiful Happy Wishes stamp set. As I said, you can earn this stamp set for free with a $180 order, and this special will be ending on the 31st of March. So if that has been on your wish list, now is the time to place the order and get in to get it for free. Also, I use the lovely wood words as my flower background to make my two cute cards. So there you go, one with really strong colours and one just with really nice soft tone on tone colours. So which colour do you like the best? Give me a comment, pink or dapper denim. Which one's your favourite? For someone that's the first one to say what their favourite is, they're going to get, Vicky, you shared, thank you. Vicky, you will get a draw into my, you like both. Well, guess what, Vicky? I'm going to send you one of these cards out because you were the first person to share my video and you were the first person to comment. So I'm just going to write your name on here and you get an entry in my drawer, so it's just gone in the jar, and I will also write your name on there to say that I'm going to send you this card. So Vicky, please can you personal message me your address and I would be happy to send you out the cards in the post. So thank you all for sharing. Thank you all all for watching. Mari, you like the Dapper Denim. Mandy, you shared. Thank you very much. I'll put your name on an entry as well. So Mandy has an entry in the drawer for sharing my video. Thank you very much for sharing. It is fantastic that you share my videos, because you never know who out of your friends, there you go Mandy, there's yours in the jar. You never know who out of your friends will enjoy watching my craft videos. So I want you to all have a lovely night, and thank you all for joining me crafting. And Vicky, I will pop these in the post for you. First thing tomorrow morning, can you just message me your address? So thank you all for watching, and until next time, happy crafting and enjoy your night. Bye for now.